Yesterday in Beijing, Xiaomi announced the successor to one of their hottest phones of this year, the Redmi Note 3. Now we've got the new Redmi Note 4. So here are 8 things you need to know about it. 8 differences from the Redmi Note 3. So my name is Ash, you're watching C4E Tech, and let's get started. Number 1, the build. This kinda remains similar. We've got metal all around, but the edges are chamfered. The speaker from the back's been moved to the bottom, and we get 2.5D glass. That's a subtle curve to the edges of the display. Overall, the build changes seem more evolutionary, not a huge departure from the Redmi Note 3. Number 2, talking about that 2.5D glass, underneath it, we still have a 5.5-inch Full HD IPS LCD display. But the display is supposed to be better, supposed to be brighter and incorporate technology to adapt contrast and brightness to the surroundings. That might be a software feature that older phones might also end up getting. As of now, it's not too clear. So it is an evolutionary change, but don't expect too much. It's still a decent display. The Redmi Note 3 had a decent display, so Xiaomi kinda is continuing to build upon it. Number 3, probably the biggest change happening with the Redmi Note 4, the specs underneath. The Redmi Note 4 sports the Helio X20 chip. Now that's 10 cores split into 3 clusters. Xiaomi says this should help make the phone more power efficient. So first we've got 2 sets of A53 cores, 4 A53 cores each. That's coupled with high-powered A72 cores, 2 of them. And then there's the Mali T880 handling GPU duties. The Redmi Note 3, the Chinese variant, had the Helio X10 chip underneath and that performed well. Here's a car tour review of the same. So I have high hopes for the X20. Anyway, moving on to number 4, storage. Just like the Redmi Note 3, there are going to be 2 options. The starter variant will have 2 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of onboard storage, but the other variant will have 3 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of onboard storage. Now that's interesting. Nice to see Xiaomi bring 64 gigs of storage to an affordable segment. Do note that Xiaomi has retained support for microSD, so you will get a dedicated SIM and a hybrid slot. While that might not be noteworthy if you're from a market like, say, our own India, where the Redmi Note 3 already has that, the MediaTek variant of the Redmi Note 3 did not come with a hybrid slot. You couldn't add a microSD card to it, so that's a decent step up. And number 5, the battery. The Redmi Note 3 is one of the best phones when it comes to battery life, and Xiaomi's again improved upon it here. The Redmi Note 4, on the surface, it might not seem like much, just a 4100 mAh battery thrown in, a very marginal incremental increase, but the numbers do not tell the entire story. We also need to take into account the power-efficient tri-cluster Helio X20 chip. Remember, the Helio X20 is built on the 20nm manufacturing process. The Snapdragon 650 on the Redmi Note 3 we've seen, that is built on the 28nm manufacturing process. So the Helio X20 will be more power efficient, and given that there's a 4100 mAh battery underneath, this should make for one hell of a long-lasting device. So anyway, number 6, with the camera, Xiaomi for some reasons gone back to the camera from the MediaTek variant of the Redmi Note 3, 13 megapixels with an f2.0 aperture and support for face detection autofocus. Me personally, I wasn't a fan of this camera, but I'm gonna reserve judgment till I actually get my hands on the phone. As of now, the camera is one area where I'm not too impressed. Number 7, out of the box, the Redmi Note 4 will run on MIUI 8 built on top of Android 6 Marshmallow. And here's a card to my video on the top features that MIUI 8 brings with it. Do check it out. And number 8, we get to price. The Redmi Note 4 is priced at $899 and $1199 yuan respectively. That's around $135 or 9,000 rupees for the 16 gig variant and $180 or 12,000 rupees for the 64 gig variant. That's actually a tad cheaper than the Redmi Note 3's price in India. And as always, that brings us to the most important question of all. When will it launch in India? Honestly, I don't know. The Redmi Note 4 does go on sale in China quite soon, but Xiaomi, thanks to their legal issues with Ericsson, are not allowed to sell phones with MediaTek chips inside in India. So, option 1, they resolve the lawsuit, but odds of that happening are low given that it's been going on for a long time now. Option 2, they do what they did with the Redmi Note 3 and swap the MediaTek chip inside with a Qualcomm chip. probably a Snapdragon 652. It would still be a step up from the Redmi Note 3. But then again, at the end of the day, your guess is probably as good as mine. So what do you think Xiaomi is gonna do? Let me know in the comments below. So anyway guys, as always, I will be importing this phone and will bring you more coverage on the Redmi Note 4 as soon as I possibly can. If I do hear anything about Indian launch dates, I will make sure to let you know on Twitter. So do follow me there at C4eTech. So that's it for this video. Hope you liked it. Hope you found it useful. If you did, if you didn't, and for more coverage on the Redmi Note 4, hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. So thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this is Ash here from C4eTech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye now.